Don't manifest the life of your dreams. I'm not saying manifestation is crap, manifestation doesn't really work. No, it does work. But what I'm saying is that you don't want it. You don't want to manifest the life of your dreams. You may think, why would you say such a stupid idea? Because how could you say that I don't want what I want? But this is if you're really in for liberation and you're really in for the truth, for finding lasting happiness, just give me a few minutes to explain you why I'm saying this. Well, the first point is that is manifestation real? Yes, it is. So, at least in my experience, and to some extent, let me explain. First thing, in 2006, it came a documentary called The Secret. As you probably know, that was the beginning of all this boom of manifest this, manifest that, and it sounded pretty convincing. It made a lot of sense, right? You could manifest the life of your dreams with your dream job, with a lot of money, and then you will finally will be free and happy ever after. Well, I will first ask you what happened to the author of that documentary. I don't know if you follow her, but if you see what she changed her narrative. And I applaud her. She just did, and she shared what it was more beneficial for her in that moment. But I'm just saying, just look to what when someone matures out of manifestation says, because that's what enlightened beings have been saying. The enlightened beings haven't been saying, "Hey, yeah, you just have to go there manifesting stuff." Jesus Christ didn't say, "Yeah, you have to go there with your superpowers and create the life of your dreams with the sauna and the rooftop." He didn't say that. No one ever said that when the real topic is lasting happiness and actual freedom. Why? Because the position that you need anything is diluted in the first place. So trying to change your dream is equals like trying to put more of a redecorate your prison. If someone is a really good friend, instead of selling you stuff on how to redecorate your cell and still living trapped in a cage of perpetuating suffering, if someone is really your friend, if someone really wanted to tell you the truth, will tell you, no, go out, go out. You don't need all this. You don't need to create the life of your dreams. Because here's the point. You are flow in one fundamental perception of yourself. And that fundamental perception of yourself is that you are missing something to be happy. And this is where you will find the radical difference. Because, as I said before, manifestation is real. It's true. It's true. At some point, for example, I hold one in Europe. Here we had these rare notes of 500 euros. And I kept that in my mind. I was just fully thinking about it, enjoying the texture of having it. And someone, 1 or 2 days later, came and out of the blue for no reason. I didn't work. I didn't do anything to deserve that. And someone came out of the blue and gave me 500 euros just for me to spend them. You may think, okay, no, I can promise you that wasn't casual. And also at the same time, one night I just visualized the perfect flat. And we were living in a very horrible place. And the next day, maybe it took like a couple of days again. But anyway, no, it wasn't the next day, this one. And then we just manifested one of the most beautiful flats I ever seen. And it was, for some strange reason, no one was renting it. And it was like 3 times, it was half the price of the market. I mean, it didn't make any sense. So, yes, I'm saying, is that real? Yes. But here is the bite where I will tell you, don't do that. I'm not saying don't do that. I mean, just do it out of fun, yes. But what I think many of these people suggesting you to manifest stuff are not really making you a service is because they say something that is crucial. You can only manifest stuff that you don't need. This is a very important point. You can only do it out of spontaneous, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. And when you really feel like you could live perfectly without it, that's the only moment that you can, let's say, influence the dream for that maybe to happen some way. But most people trying to manifest, they are trying to manifest. Do you think you're going to create the job of your dream and you don't care about it, of course you care. And that's where the catch is. If you care, if you feel that you need it to be happy. You feel that, yes, if I wish I finally will have the person that I always needed, if I finally had enough money to, you see, you already set up completely wrong. And many of these teachers, which some of them I think are very, and I think this is very useful. It helps you to stop having so many negative thoughts and so on. So I think please do manifest if it feels natural to you. I'm not saying don't do it in the sense of don't explore it. You deserve to pursue that. But I'm just telling you what is the conclusion you're going to get to. And the conclusion you're going to get to is that there is a subtle reinforcement of suffering every time you're trying to chase your dreams. And again, I'm not saying that your dreams cannot be true inside of your own personal experience of your dream. Yeah. What I'm saying, it doesn't really matter. And that's not real happiness. Because what is the real path to liberation is realizing that you were already free in the first place. It is not making a nicer dream for a person suffering. It's about waking up from the dream. That's what liberation is. So would I say someone to manifest? I would say, yeah, well, have fun with it. So if you're doing just for like a hobby with things that you don't care, just go for it. But you do actually honestly think that you're trying to find happiness in whatever you're trying to manifest, then don't. Because first thing, it's not going to work. It's going to be hard work. And you will do like I did and many people did. You will manifest certain things, but you will still missing the whole picture. So to be honest, you will still suffer. You will still feel like crap, even when you have a mansion, even when you have all the money in the world. You will still feel wrong. Profoundly, something will be off in your experience. So save yourself time. And instead of aiming for all these ideas that society put in your mind of what you need, of what you don't need, just go radical. Be honest with yourself. Because what all the teachers through history have been actually saying is that you are already beautiful. You are already complete. It's just that you are mistaking, thinking that you are a person inside of a dream. And there's nothing wrong with the dream. Enjoy the dream. But the point is that if you think you are the person, then you're recreating suffering. And you will see suffering in your experience, in yourself and other people around you. So take responsibility. If you want to go into the manifestation thing, there's one way to go. Be responsible of everything that goes wrong ever. That's the way you can use this relationship between your thoughts and what happened. Make yourself responsible. Instead of saying, these people is mean, this shouldn't have happened. Instead of throwing out your responsibility, even like you live in a universe that is completely out of your control and there's those evil forces out of you that are making things wrong and you're just a good person trying to do something good. Take responsibility of everything you perceive and understanding. That's a misperception you're having. In some way, you are reinforcing fear and lack. And that's what you see in the experience of yourself and others. You just see that. So that's the positive way. That's the liberating way of taking this manifest your reality theme in a way that is actually serving you. So use it to liberate you. Use it to wake up to the truth, to the actual grounding, beautiful end of suffering, which is to realize that you can awaken from being a person, from being trapped in a body, from being trapped in a life. That's why you want to be happy, because something feels off. You're just mistaken, you're just distracted. And my suggestion to you is to actually, this is the way that I'm doing it. I can only share what it has worked for me. Here's the thing. I just learned from many other people. So I have a teacher, and I always had a teacher. I always found someone who could teach me better than I have in my own experience. And that's when my life really improved. So that's what I'm trying to offer you here, to give you good advice, to hopefully save you time if you're ready to hear this. So In my case, and in anybody's case, you do some sort of meditation. What is meditation? This is not a specific thing you should do with cultural things. No, 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 no. It's not cultural. It's your nature. It has nothing to do if they did it in India or they did it in India. It hasn't had anything with that. We're talking about taking time to see all these patterns inside of you that are deluding you, that the carrot with the stick that is making you feel that you have to strive for your life. That's what meditation is. So you will ask me, okay, how you do that? Well, the basic mechanics of all meditations, and you can do this in so many ways, is that you actually take time for yourself. That's the first thing. But not take time. So instead of running away from yourself, trying to distract you from your own pain and from your own suffering, you do the opposite. You sit and observe what it is right now in you. You observe your body, you observe your feelings, and you just let go. Let go, it doesn't mean that it disappears. It doesn't. But you change your relationship. And as you do that, some space is created. And at some point, thoughts, instead of creating change of voices, narratives all the time in your head, driving you crazy from one thing to another, they are just like clouds in a beautiful sky. So there is nothing wrong with thoughts. And here's the funny thing. As that happens, these thoughts are practical, productive, creative, and loving. But they seem to be like happening on their own. You're not thinking. You're just there witnessing everything. And what I'm saying is the consequence of time trying this. So if you're new to meditation, I'm not suggesting you're going to sit and you may experience that right away. But I'm here to support you in doing that because luckily, before us, there was a lot of people who do this. I think it's not the smartest or certainly not the quickest way just to ignore all the fantastic culture we had about how to do this and just try to make it up everything on your own. I mean, you can certainly do that and try that. But if you don't get to rest in pure awareness and presence and suddenly be happy forever, don't worry. We got you, in the sense, me and anyone who is trying to actually honestly helping you. And you do that, in my case, if you ask me, I don't know any enlightened teacher in history, included Jesus, included anyone, who didn't do these processes of self-knowledge. That's what meditation is. You see it, make space, and you let things be as they are. And I could go on and explain you how this process goes, but in a nutshell, as I said before, you just basically still let your body be still. You detach from your body, you let it go, and it becomes just a body there. And you can learn to do that also with your mind, and you create this space, and also with your emotions. And at some point, you get to fully experience that you are not the person you thought you were, and you experience this. This is not something you just think about it, or you watch an interesting video or read an interesting book about it. That could be motivating to look for it, but actually, the only liberation you're gonna find is actually to experiment it and to realize that this is true for you. And when you do that, at some point, if you keep peeling the onion of your own suffering, you keep letting go of all these layers, at some point you go deeper in your unconscious, your existential attitude, let's say, and you get to realize that you're perfectly beautiful and your life is actually joyful already. That behind any experience that you could live, call it comfortable or uncomfortable, the very sense of being alive is what you have been looking for all the time. The joy of experiencing being, just being. You don't need to be this or be that or have this or have that. That's just part of a story. There's a deeper layer of your being that it is connected to a deeper reality and it's only overflowing this sense of ease and joy all the time. And I want you to reach that so you realize that, yeah, if manifestation comes accidentally, good for you. And it will certainly happen because the more you let go of your all trauma, and your life will become better and better and better and better. But I'm not here to suggesting that is the way to go. Try to change your dream. I'm just saying if you go backwards, the light will infuse your experience with peace and joy. And yeah, your life will reflect that more and more. But you're not looking at that as a score to see how good you are. No, you just really look deep into what your nature is. And as you peel layers, at some point, you're going to find out that you are everything you ever wanted already. Exactly as you are. You don't need to change. You don't need to become. You are. If you're serious about truly understanding meditation, not just the surface level mindfulness hype, but the deep, time tested methods of the sages, I have a free course with real practical guidance waiting for you. And if you struggle to stay consistent with your meditation practice, join our free community for accountability, live online meditation sessions, and discussion circles that will keep you supported every step of the way. You'll find the link to join in the description or the comments below, so you will never have to do this alone. See you there.